Hi everyone. As their name suggests, accompanied cannons include other parts as well as those forming the canon. Some texts divide these canon into three categories. Canon, where the accompanying part or parts are written in free counterpoint. Canon, where the accompanying part or parts are written in a more chordal accompaniment style. Or canon, where the accompanying part acts as a cantus firmus, such as a canon written against a chorale melody. Within this threefold categorization, there is some overlap, especially between the first two categories. For example, this perpetual canon from J.S. Bach's musical offering includes a third part written in free counterpoint against the canonic parts, as in the first category, and the continuo's chordal instrument, probably a keyboard instrument, would supply a chordal accompaniment, as in the second category. It's probably easier, therefore, to only use two categories for accompanied canons. Canons which contain another free part or parts, and those specifically written against the cantus firmus. Of the many examples of accompanied canon with free parts is this Mass by Palestrina, where a two-part canon is accompanied by three other free parts. In each of the Mass's sections, the canon's intervallic and temporal distance decreases. For example, in the first Kyrie, the canon is at the octave, and each of its parts begin 8 half notes apart. In the Christe, the canon is at the 7th, and both of its parts begin 7 half notes apart. In the second Kyrie, the canon is at the 6th, and the canon's two parts begin 6 half notes apart, and so on. An example of a canon written against a chorale melody is the 5 variations on a Lutheran melody by J.S. Bach. As with the Palestrina Mass, here in each variation, Bach writes the canon at various intervallic distances and uses different canonic devices, such as canon by augmentation in the 4th variation, and in contrary motion in the 5th. Canon are typically named after their primary characteristic or the main canonic device or devices they include. For example, as we've seen, accompanied canons are labelled so because they have an additional free part or parts. Although a single characteristic or canonic device may be used exclusively in a work, composers will often combine several, such as those we saw in the earlier examples. Other types of canon include canon by diminution, which, like canons by augmentation, involve a change of note values in the canonic parts, which in this case is a decrease in value. This canon from J.S. Bach's Art of Fugue, for example, combines 3 parts in diminution, with 2 of these also in contrary motion with the subject and alto part. Crab or retrograde cannons are written so that the parts move forward together until a certain point, and then they swap and move backwards to the end. In this example, again from Bach's musical offering, the parts move forward until bar 9 and then are swapped and reversed until the end. Reverse retrograde cannons are written so that when the page is turned upside down, the canon reads the same way as when it was right side up. The following example illustrates. Circular canon, also known as modulating or spiral canon, are written with each part at a consistent interval distance and key from the previous. Here, for example, each successive part enters at a distance of a fifth above. Riddle or puzzle canon are canon where the remaining part or parts must be deduced from a single part. The single part, written as a close canon, typically includes clues to the solution. Many canon were originally written this way, such as the crab canon in the earlier example from Bach's musical offering. And finally, polymorphous canon are written so that the subject may be combined in numerous ways, creating many different types of canon from a single subject. The following canon subject, for example, according to its composer, may be treated as a canon at any interval above or below, either directly or by contrary or retrograde motion, by augmentation and diminution, and with each part beginning at different temporal locations to produce multiple realizations. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.